Damn, 9 hours and 35 minutes. I I spend way too much time on these, but because I did the calculations and yeah, I don't know, I should like work on shortening my time a lot more because I should charge about double than what I do charge. It's not even a sketch anymore. It's it's a slightly unclean drawing now. And but on to the piece. The client ordered um based on this the all black rooster, Kalimar, um Kamari or something. But it's the all black chicken, and they wanted the trans male, and so it's a rooster trans. and and that was interesting. And actually, um see, I was just so it was I actually made a mistake, a big mistake, in that the client ordered uh no wings, and I put wings, and I didn't notice until I was preparing to post, and I was even after I set up the for the video and I was about to post, and then I saw it. So I have to go back and take the wings out. But for now they have wings, and um they wanted them. I think their name is Aisha, and they wanted them with it's a this characo was a front and back view, and um, it had the full package for the fashion, which is underwear slash sleepwear, front and back, and clothing front and back. And I was really late on this delivery, so I did an extra outfit. And and they also wanted the character to be pretty and sculpted and um, with hair. And so to reiterate what Cherico is, I should have started with that. But it's basically a character design service, and you select one words, and um, I just create a character design just from those one words, and that's why it's one of my favorites because it really highlights what I believe a character designer should be. But that's this isn't how it works in mainstream and AAA titles and such. And it's a lot more frustrating and a lot more minute some non-artistic asshole looking over your shoulder and trying to tell you what would look good. And so um also trans for the body is actually a new sort of selection I made for it because I just realized um there's a certain things that come with having a trans post-op body. And so like I know scarring is usual, but I know there are ways to very minimize the scarring, and of the ones I've seen, very few were so minimal that you didn't even see it. So but most of them I do see. And I and so oh, and what I was fun about this was I always found that trans men tend to be beautiful because it's that feminine quality that is more in the body. It's there. And so I think it just transfers over really well. I think that's because since we all start female in the body, and so and then so we all female in the body, and then it changed to male. So I think that's why um, that would explain why most trans men are beautiful, and that their face is just like a good combination even after the hormones and such. It's just a nice it's a great balance, and I'm all about balancing. And so anyway, and so with him, I wanted to show excuse me. I wanted to show that side of him, and that's another reason why I added it, cuz like I said, there are certain physical traits that are more prominent in when you're for trans bodies. And and lately I came to realize that females have way better legs than men generally on average. And only real even when the men work out their legs, it's still a female leg still look better to me. It's just more fuller and it fits more like men. Even when they work out, it's mostly the upper leg, and then the lower leg is all skinny like a stick. But you have to be really dedicated to working out and really do the whole body to balance it out for men anyway. And so with the legs, I kept them more say feminine, because feminine legs are more balanced on general. Even when they don't work out, even if a woman doesn't work out, they could be more balanced. And and I thought that was beautiful. I was actually kind of sort of thinking of this one masculine and female, I guess. I only saw the pictures, and I thought they were gorgeous, and and they had like a great balance. And I mean, they were clearly female body, but they still had like a masculine essence about them. Like not even just the way they dressed was masculine, but it's just the whole demeanor. I love that, and I was like, oh, I wish I could meet them. But I'm like, oh, I wish. I'm like, oh my god, I hope they're male. But anyway, so I was thinking that for this character, where but this is male, and the other one, I'm not sure what they were. They still had female body, but I was thinking of those hips, and I think I could have given him more hips to reflect the female, but I'm thinking his body was the type that was more like most, from what I've observed, most studs. They have a masculine hips shape, like it's straight, and they don't really have. They're not too shapely around the hips, but they still have the female legs, from what I've observed. And like they already, it's like their body was like, should we go male? It was like almost too male, but it stopped right before it formed a dick. And it was like, okay, that's enough. Like the body was being a dick, like being an asshole about it. And like the genetics. It was like, no, that's enough, Mel. Let's just keep the pussy though. But so his buddy is along those lines, and with and another reason why I think I mistakenly overlooked the wings is because I like doing wings, and I think it's interesting to do clothes for them, because most of the time I don't see clothing incorporate the wings properly, or it looks like they're just slapped on and they give no explanation as to how did they get the wings through such and such. And but that's just from mostly what I've seen, and especially mainstream don't take any consideration from what I've seen. But so I was thinking I wanted a masculine. Oh, and also I changed at first it's underwear that I put as an option, but it's lately it's just more like lingerie because underwear is easy, and that's why it's so cheap. Because I'm like I kind of want to make it for free, but then I'm like, but I always go more anyway by habit, and so that's why I just changed it. I still have to go through the services and change it to lingerie to reflect more what it's about. It's about a fashion take on the undergarments. So this one, I wanted boxer shorts like shape for the bottom half, and for the top half, I wanted it. I think I was gonna give them a hoodie, but I changed my mind in the middle of it. I think you may have seen it, but and the string that was an afterthought. But afterthought I appreciate. I always love the afterthought designs, and so I was done with the line work. So with Chericos, I always do all the lines first, and then I do the flats, and I just go back once I'm done. So I do the line work for the body, and then I do whatever next comes with the fashion, and then I go back to the body, add the color, and then I base the color of the outfits on the body. Because my favorite thing with fashion is with fashion, I believe you take everything into account. You take into the person's body shape, you take into their skin tone, natural skin tones, and um, even and hairstyle comes after. But so that's why I do the fashion afterwards, because I really one of the many things I can't stand with looking at other fashion in this type of the fantasy is that it's like they don't take into consideration the coloring of the character. It's just some random ass clothes on them, and then it looks horrible. And I'm like, okay, they just have. It's okay to not to have a character with no fashion sense, but come on now, every single fantasy character have no fantasy fashion sense. It's like a majority of them don't. It's like nah. It's the creator that has no fashion sense. But anyway, so this is the first outfit, and I wanted it to, and I realized suddenly I never did overalls, or I can't recall ever doing overalls in all the fashion I've done, and so I figured, hey, it's a chicken, um, it's a trans rooster, let them have like farmer-ish clothes, and that's the thing with the first outfit, and also with Cherico, um, you can't with sorry I got distracted with what was I about to say, oh yeah, so I thought it was interesting to do the overalls like this, to like incorporate the wings and have it shush back. I actually don't really too much like the band under the arms, but again, I always have to remind myself it's a sketch. I have to not take too much time. Yet, as you can see, this whole it took 9 hours, and I just to do everything, and it's just me being too clean. Like, see, that's damn near final line art. It's just a few more. So, it's basically a drawing, Cherico drawing. I should rename it. But I keep the sketch because I don't want to. I still want to um, make sure the person knows it's not supposed to be exact or extra clean. Because if it was, I would have to charge a lot more. I would really have to charge a lot more then if I was to call it Cherico drawing. But anyway, so the second outfit, I just wanted the everyday thing, like not working or anything. And I wanted to give them piercings. I thought that would be cute on them. And so this is just regular, typical clothes like they wear every day or just like going out, like a casual. And the other one is, and so the first outfit is like just a work outfit of sorts. And so if this, I, oh, another thing I tried with this order was that I didn't really do too much with the wings. And now I'm glad I didn't do too much because now I have to go back and erase said wings. So but uh, yeah, I realized that most of the time I like to add accessories to the wings because they're part of the body too, and I don't see that too often either. So um, in but concerning my own work, I do it most of the time, and so I thought for a change up with this to do not either none on the wings or very little. So the farmer has them like the rag that goes around. I thought that was cool, and the little jewelry on one end. And even though considering it's a work outfit, he probably shouldn't have dangly jewelry like that. The rag around the wing that could work because he could like detach that and go about his day. But I also was see with Cherico when they say I put inspiring creature, and it's not supposed to be exact. It's just supposed that creature that you name is just supposed to be an inspiration for the design. And sometimes, usually, I just take certain qualities of it and have like the what is it like? It's dedicated to it or something like that. But like no, like a offering. Oh no, sorry, I can't remember the word. But so for this, I wanted to incorporate the little extra um the claw that chickens have. So I did that and just gave him four toes and had the fifth one up top, and I also added it to the hand, and even so that makes it six for the hand, I guess. But I thought it would be cool to have like the extra thumb of sorts, but not really. And so that I think that worked out nicely. And maybe if I do it again, I'll probably. I Another thing with charcoal, I rarely reuse species I make, and but sometimes I do. Um, and actually, people can order the same species in the Cherico. Like for inspiring species, they could put like Cherico or even adopt. One of my adopts are Cherico's number, and that way I'll know you want that species. But no one usually uses it, and I'm like, oh, come on, like I need to promote it more, I think. And also with this, the chicken that's inspired by is all black, right? So the client ordered all these black, colors, except one of them is way too close to black. Like you can barely see it, right? And I wanted to lighten it up, but I have to stick with what the client picks. So, and it's the and the way it works is you got five colors I want you to give me of hex codes, um, ordered from the most prominent one to the least prominent one. And so the top one was black, and the second one was what is so close to black that it might as well be black, or I wanted to lighten it. But so I made that one. It's mostly in the legs and the arms and the forearms. So Um, and also with this, I figured with him, since he's trans, see the hens of chickens, they don't have such a glamorous tail. So I wanted his hormones to extend the feathers on his tail. So that's why it's long. That's his real tail. Kind of like a beard. And oh, and I made his hat to fit his species born male characters, born males. So it's open in the back because the male's like back is bigger, and he has it a little bit, but it just didn't. His body just decided to not give him it much at all. So it's mostly the tails of their species that grow out when they take the hormones and become trans. If they are trans, I mean, if they're trans, and they take the hormones, like it's mostly the tail that changes. And but to some people, they do. The lucky ones do get to have the crest and even the bottom come out too. Or like the beard flap. I know there's a name for it, but I can't remember. So but not with him. So he just got the tail for the most part, and the hat is for the males, and I thought it was cool to be open in the back. And I made the shirt, so the shirt is open in the back as well, and you just slip it on and tie it. You see how it ties around. Um, I think that's always fun to make sure it ties around. And the wings. And I thought I like adding the minute details mean a lot to me, cuz they could it's like the littlest things could make the whole picture seem that much more real. And so I like to add little details like um the shirt is like torn on the side, like things like that, because it just adds dimension and character, because clothes are a character. And so that's how I approach everything, really: weapons, clothing, even environments. I approach it as it's if it's a character. So here I'm just going through I was I was curious on changing this because I wanted the contrast. I love contrast, and I saw that it looked cool with the little. See how these pants work? They're loose around, but they cover, like they go on like stretch pants or something. And so now you can see. Yeah, I like Final Cut Pro. It like a smooth gradient. I hope to use this more in the future. See how it's faded in the back? I love the top of the underwear of the lingerie there. And I love those shoes too. I love the contrast. And I love the little brightness in the back of the red, one spot in the red. So it's the little things. I love the little things. But thank you, and hope you more. Bye.